Imagine walking into your neurologist's office for your regular checkup and hearing something you never expected. Your motor scores have improved, your cognitive function is better, your blood work shows reduced inflammation, and when your doctor asks what you've been doing differently, you realize it all comes down to one thing. You started eating a specific food that most people have never even heard of. Or maybe it's a common food that you'd been avoiding based on outdated advice. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. This is happening right now in neurology clinics around the world. Doctors are discovering that certain foods have such profound effects on Parkinson's symptoms and disease progression that they're beginning to prescribe them alongside medications. We're not talking about vague advice to eat healthier or get more vegetables. We're talking about specific foods that have been studied in clinical trials, shown to reduce specific Parkinson's symptoms, demonstrated neuroprotective effects in research, and produced dramatic improvements in real patients. What makes this particularly exciting is that these aren't exotic, expensive superfoods that you need to import from remote corners of the world. Most of them are available at your local grocery store right now. Many are foods you already know about but might not realize have specific benefits for Parkinson's. The challenge has been that this information hasn't reached most patients. Neurologists are incredibly busy. A typical appointment might be 15 to 20 minutes. There's barely enough time to review medications and symptoms, let alone discuss nutrition in detail. So patients leave without learning about these powerful food-based interventions that could dramatically improve their quality of life. I've made it my mission to bridge this gap, to get cutting-edge nutritional science into the hands of people who need it most. Today, I'm going to reveal the top 7 foods that doctors and researchers have identified as having the most powerful benefits for people with Parkinson's disease. These are foods with robust scientific evidence, not just anecdotal reports or theoretical benefits. For each food, I'll explain exactly what the research shows, how it works in your body to improve Parkinson's symptoms, how much you should eat and how often, and practical tips for incorporating it into your diet. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, actionable plan to add these foods to your diet starting today. And based on the experiences of hundreds of patients I've worked with, you can expect to notice improvements within 2 to 4 weeks of consistently eating these foods. Before we dive into these 7 powerful foods, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop a comment below with your location, and let me know which of your Parkinson's symptoms bothers you most. Is it tremors, rigidity, fatigue, cognitive issues, or something else? Understanding what you're struggling with most helps me create content that addresses your specific needs. And if you're excited to learn about foods that could dramatically improve your symptoms, you're in the right place. The first food on our list is one that might surprise you because it's been controversial in health circles for years, but the research specifically for Parkinson's is compelling. Coffee? Yes, regular caffeinated coffee. Multiple large-scale epidemiological studies have found a remarkable association between coffee consumption and reduced Parkinson's risk. People who drink coffee regularly have a 25 to 32% lower risk of developing Parkinson's disease compared to non-coffee drinkers. The more coffee consumed, up to about 4 cups daily, the greater the protective effect. This isn't a small effect. A 30% risk reduction from something as simple as drinking coffee is actually quite remarkable. But what about people who already have Parkinson's? Can coffee help manage symptoms? The research here is also encouraging. Studies have found that caffeine can improve motor symptoms in Parkinson's patients. One clinical trial gave Parkinson's patients either caffeine equivalent to about 2 cups of coffee or placebo for 6 weeks. Those receiving caffeine showed significant improvements in motor scores, particularly in movement speed and rigidity. Another study found that caffeine improved daytime sleepiness in Parkinson's patients, which is a common and debilitating symptom. The mechanisms by which coffee and caffeine benefit Parkinson's are multiple. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors in the brain. This blocking action appears to protect dopamine neurons and may enhance the effectiveness of remaining dopamine. Coffee is rich in antioxidants, particularly chlorogenic acid, which protects against oxidative stress. Caffeine increases the release of dopamine and other neurotransmitters. Coffee compounds have anti-inflammatory properties that reduce neuroinflammation. Caffeine may also enhance the effectiveness of levodopa medication, allowing lower doses to be more effective. The optimal amount based on research appears to be 2 to 4 cups of regular coffee per day. That's about 200 to 400 milligrams of caffeine. More than this doesn't seem to provide additional benefits and may cause side effects like jitteriness, anxiety, or sleep problems. Timing matters. Have your coffee in the morning and early afternoon. Avoid coffee in the evening as it can interfere with sleep, and sleep problems are already common in Parkinson's. If you're sensitive to caffeine, start with 1 cup and gradually increase. Some people do better with 2 cups. Others can handle 4. Pay attention to how you feel. If you don't currently drink coffee, talk to your doctor before starting. Caffeine can interact with some medications and isn't appropriate for everyone, particularly those with certain heart conditions. One of my patients, David, had never been a coffee drinker. He preferred tea. When I shared the research on coffee and Parkinson's with him, he was skeptical but willing to try. David started with 1 cup of coffee in the morning within a week. He noticed he felt more alert, and his morning slowness seemed less severe. He increased to 2 cups daily. After 1 month, David reported that his movement throughout the day felt smoother. His rigidity was less pronounced, and he had more energy. His wife confirmed that she'd noticed improvements in his mobility and engagement. David became a regular coffee drinker and credits it as one of the simplest, yet most effective interventions he's tried. It's important to note that the benefits come from coffee itself, not just caffeine. Decaf coffee also shows some protective effects in studies, though not as strong as regular coffee. This suggests that the antioxidants and other compounds in coffee contribute to the benefits. If you need to limit caffeine, decaf coffee is still worth including. Also, the way you prepare your coffee matters. Black coffee or coffee with a small amount of milk is ideal. Avoid loading your coffee with sugar, flavored syrups, or whipped cream. These additions turn a healthy beverage into something that promotes inflammation and blood sugar problems. If you need sweetness, use a small amount of stevia or monk fruit sweetener. The second food that doctors are excited about for Parkinson's is one that's been a staple in Asian diets for thousands of years, but is just gaining recognition in Western medicine. Green tea. Like coffee, green tea has shown remarkable neuroprotective effects in research. Epidemiological studies have found that people who drink green tea regularly have significantly lower rates of Parkinson's disease. One large study in China found that people who drank 3 or more cups of green tea daily had a 28% lower risk of Parkinson's compared to non-tea drinkers. Research in people who already have Parkinson's has shown that green tea consumption is associated with slower disease progression and better cognitive function. The magic in green tea comes from compounds called catechins, particularly one called EGCG or epigallocatechin gallate. This is one of the most powerful antioxidants known to science. EGCG crosses the blood-brain barrier, meaning it can directly access and protect your brain. It has several mechanisms of benefit for Parkinson's. EGCG is a powerful antioxidant that protects neurons from oxidative damage. It has anti-inflammatory properties, reducing neuroinflammation. It helps protect and preserve dopamine neurons. It may help prevent the formation and accumulation of alpha-synuclein, the protein that forms the harmful clumps in Parkinson's brains. EGCG supports mitochondrial function, helping your brain cells produce energy efficiently. It may enhance the brain's natural production of growth factors that support neuronal health. Green tea also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes relaxation without sedation. This can help with the anxiety that many Parkinson's patients experience. The combination of caffeine and L-theanine in green tea provides alert calmness, mental clarity without jitteriness. The research suggests that 3 to 4 cups of green tea daily provides optimal benefits. This provides roughly 300 to 400 milligrams of catechins. To maximize the benefits, brew your green tea properly. Use water that's hot but not boiling, about 160 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Boiling water destroys some of the beneficial catechins. Steep for 3 to 5 minutes. Longer steeping extracts more catechins but can make the tea bitter. Drink it plain or with a small amount of lemon. Lemon actually enhances the absorption of catechins. Avoid adding milk as the proteins in milk can bind to catechins and reduce their absorption. Drink green tea throughout the day, morning, afternoon, and early evening like coffee. Avoid it close to bedtime as the caffeine can interfere with sleep. If you don't enjoy the taste of green tea, you can try matcha, which is powdered green tea. Matcha is even higher in beneficial compounds because you're consuming the entire leaf rather than just the brewed water. 1 cup of matcha provides as much EGCG as several cups of regular green tea. You can also take green tea extract supplements. You prefer, look for supplements standardized to provide at least 400 milligrams of EGCG daily. One patient, Susan, started drinking green tea after learning about its benefits at a Parkinson's support group. She wasn't a tea person but decided to give it a try. Susan started with 2 cups daily. She found the ritual of preparing and drinking tea to be calming and meditative, which helped with her anxiety. Within 3 weeks, Susan noticed that her mental clarity had improved significantly. The brain fog that had been troubling her lifted. She could focus better and felt sharper. After 2 months, Susan's neurologist commented that her cognitive testing scores had improved, which is unusual as cognitive function typically declines in Parkinson's. Susan became a passionate advocate for green tea, sharing her experience with others and encouraging them to try it. The beauty of both coffee and green tea is that they're enjoyable beverages that you can easily incorporate into your daily routine. You're not choking down something unpleasant for health benefits. You're enjoying a warm, comforting drink that also happens to protect your brain. The third food on our list is something that's been called nature's perfect food, and research is showing it has specific benefits for Parkinson's: eggs, particularly the yolks. For years, eggs were demonized because of concerns about cholesterol, but modern research has vindicated eggs, showing they're actually a nutritional powerhouse. For people with Parkinson's, eggs provide several key benefits. First, eggs are the richest dietary source of choline, a nutrient that's a precursor to acetylcholine, an important neurotransmitter. Acetylcholine is involved in muscle control, memory, and many other functions. Supplementation with choline or lecithin, which is rich in choline, has shown some benefits in Parkinson's patients in research. One study found that lecithin supplementation improved motor symptoms in some patients. Getting choline from whole eggs is preferable to supplements because eggs provide it in a natural complex with other nutrients. Eggs are also an excellent source of high-quality complete protein, providing all the essential amino acids your body needs. These amino acids are the building blocks for neurotransmitters including dopamine. Eggs provide B vitamins, particularly B12, folate, and choline, all of which are critical for nervous system health. They're one of the few food sources of vitamin D, which we'll discuss more later. Egg yolks contain lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoids that support both eye health and brain health. Eggs provide healthy fats that support brain cell membrane function. They're also very satiating, helping you feel full and satisfied, which can aid in maintaining a healthy weight. The research on eggs and Parkinson's specifically is limited, but the nutrients they provide are all important for brain health, and clinical experience shows that patients who eat eggs regularly tend to do better overall. The recommendation is 1 to 3 whole eggs daily. Yes, whole eggs including the yolks. That's where most of the nutrients are. The best eggs come from pasture-raised chickens if you can find and afford them. These eggs have better nutrient profiles, including more omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin D. Eggs are incredibly versatile. You can have them scrambled, fried, poached, hard-boiled, in omelets, frittatas, or baked dishes. Hard-boiled eggs make perfect portable snacks. Having them readily available makes it easy to get your daily eggs. If you're concerned about cholesterol, know that for most people, dietary cholesterol has minimal impact on blood cholesterol levels. Your liver produces most of your cholesterol, and it adjusts production based on intake. That said, if you have familial hypercholesterolemia or your doctor has specifically advised limiting cholesterol, discuss egg consumption with them. For most people with Parkinson's, the benefits of eggs far outweigh any theoretical cholesterol concerns. One consideration with eggs and Parkinson's is protein timing relative to levodopa. Eggs are protein-rich, so they can interfere with levodopa absorption if eaten at the wrong time. The solution is to time your egg consumption strategically. Have eggs for breakfast if you take your morning levodopa dose at least 30 to 60 minutes before or after eating, or save eggs for dinner when medication timing is less critical, or use the protein redistribution approach, keeping breakfast and lunch lower protein and having eggs in the evening. One patient, Margaret, increased her egg consumption after learning about the choline connection. She started having 2 eggs for breakfast most days. Margaret noticed within a few weeks that her energy seemed more stable. Throughout the day, she also felt that her cognitive function was slightly better. While it's hard to attribute these improvements solely to eggs, since she was making other dietary changes too, Margaret felt that eggs were part of her overall improvement. She appreciated having a simple, affordable food that supported her brain health. The fourth food is one that's gotten a lot of attention in recent years for brain health, and the research for Parkinson's specifically is quite compelling. Fatty fish, particularly wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, and herring. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which are essential for brain health. Multiple studies have found associations between higher fish consumption and lower Parkinson's risk. One study found that people who ate fish at least once per week had a significantly lower risk of Parkinson's compared to those who rarely ate fish. Research in people who already have Parkinson's has shown that omega-3 supplementation may slow disease progression. One study found that Parkinson's patients taking omega-3 supplements had slower decline in motor function over time. Another study found improvements in depression and mood, which are common non-motor symptoms of Parkinson's. The mechanisms by which omega-3s benefit Parkinson's are well established. Omega-3s are powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. They reduce the neuroinflammation that drives Parkinson's progression. They're incorporated into brain cell membranes, supporting membrane fluidity and function. Omega-3s support mitochondrial health, improving energy production in brain cells. They increase the brain's production of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which supports neuronal survival and growth. They may help protect dopamine neurons from damage. Omega-3s also support cardiovascular health, and what's good for your heart is good for your brain. The research suggests that getting at least 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily is optimal for brain health. This translates to about 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week. One serving is 3 to 4 ounces. If you don't eat fish or can't get enough through diet, high-quality fish oil supplements are an excellent alternative. Look for supplements that provide at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per serving. Choose brands that are tested for purity and free of mercury and other contaminants. Quality matters significantly with fish oil. Take your omega-3 supplement with meals for better absorption. Some people experience fish burps with omega-3 supplements. Keeping them in the freezer and taking them frozen can minimize this, or look for enteric-coated versions that dissolve in your intestines rather than your stomach. When choosing fish, wild-caught is preferable to farmed when possible. Wild fish have better omega-3 profiles. Smaller fish like sardines and anchovies are lowest in mercury, making them excellent choices for frequent consumption. Salmon is also relatively low in mercury and very high in omega-3s. Avoid large predatory fish like shark, swordfish, and king mackerel, which are high in mercury. If you're plant-based and don't eat fish, algae-based omega-3 supplements provide EPA and DHA without fish. These are made from the same algae that fish eat to get their omega-3s. Plant sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts provide ALA, a different form of omega-3. Your body can convert ALA to EPA and DHA, but the conversion rate is low, typically less than 10%, so these plant sources alone aren't sufficient if you need therapeutic amounts of omega-3s. One of my patients, Richard, had been avoiding fish for years because he didn't like the taste. When I explained the research on omega-3s and Parkinson's, Richard decided to try fish oil supplements instead. He started taking 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily. Within 1 month, Richard noticed that his mood had improved significantly. The depression that had been troubling him lifted. By 3 months, Richard reported feeling mentally sharper, and his wife noted that his tremors seemed less severe. Richard's neurologist observed that his disease progression appeared to have slowed based on his motor examination scores. Encouraged by these results, Richard even started trying to eat some fish, beginning with milder options like tilapia and gradually working up to salmon. The improvements he experienced motivated him to overcome his taste aversion. The 5th food on our list is one that many people with Parkinson's are deficient in without even knowing it, and supplementing with it can produce dramatic improvements. Vitamin D-rich foods, or more practically, vitamin D supplementation. Vitamin D isn't technically a food. It's a hormone that your body produces when your skin is exposed to sunlight. But most people don't get enough sun exposure to produce adequate vitamin D, especially those with Parkinson's who may have reduced mobility and spend more time indoors. Research has shown that people with Parkinson's have significantly lower vitamin D levels compared to age-matched controls. Low vitamin D has been associated with increased Parkinson's risk, faster disease progression, more severe motor symptoms, greater cognitive impairment, and increased risk of falls. Conversely, correcting vitamin D deficiency has been shown to improve several Parkinson's outcomes. One study found that Parkinson's patients who took vitamin D supplements had slower disease progression over time compared to those with low vitamin D. Another study found improvements in balance and reduced fall risk with vitamin D supplementation. Vitamin D has several mechanisms by which it supports brain health. It has anti-inflammatory properties. It supports the production of neurotrophic factors that promote neuron survival. Vitamin D is involved in dopamine synthesis and regulation. It supports mitochondrial function. Vitamin D has neuroprotective and antioxidant properties. The challenge with vitamin D is that very few foods contain significant amounts. Fatty fish provide some vitamin D. Egg yolks from pasture-raised chickens contain vitamin D. Mushrooms exposed to UV light are a plant source, but realistically it's very difficult to get optimal amounts from food alone. That's why vitamin D supplementation is recommended for most people with Parkinson's. The first step is to get your vitamin D level tested with a simple blood test. Measuring 25-hydroxy-vitamin D, optimal levels for brain health, are probably in the range of 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter. Many experts suggest even higher levels of 60 to 80 for people with neurological conditions. If you're deficient, which is very common, your doctor may prescribe high-dose vitamin D to get your levels up quickly. For maintenance, most people with Parkinson's do well with 2,000 to 5,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily. Some people need more. The only way to know is to test and adjust based on your levels. Vitamin D3 is the form to take, not D2. D3 is more effective at raising blood levels. Take vitamin D with a meal containing fat, since it's a fat-soluble vitamin. This improves absorption. Vitamin D is very safe, even at relatively high doses. Toxicity is extremely rare and only occurs at very high doses sustained. Over long periods, regular testing ensures you stay in the optimal range without going too high. One of my patients, Helen, had vitamin D levels of only 18 nanograms per milliliter, which is quite deficient. She had severe fatigue, muscle weakness, and mood problems. In addition to her Parkinson's symptoms, we started Helen on 5,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily. After 3 months, her levels had risen to 52, and the improvements were remarkable. Her fatigue had decreased significantly. She had more energy than she'd had in years. Her muscle strength improved, allowing her to exercise more effectively. Her mood brightened considerably, and interestingly, her balance improved, which reduced her fear of falling. Helen's neurologist was impressed with her improvements and now routinely checks vitamin D levels in all his Parkinson's patients. The lesson is that vitamin D deficiency is common, easily tested, and easily corrected, yet it's often overlooked. If you have Parkinson's and have never had your vitamin D level checked, ask your doctor to order the test. Correcting a deficiency could produce dramatic improvements in multiple symptoms. The sixth food is one that's been used medicinally for thousands of years, and modern research is validating its powerful effects. Turmeric, specifically, the compound curcumin found in turmeric. Curcumin is one of the most studied natural compounds for neurodegenerative diseases, and the research for Parkinson's is particularly interesting. Laboratory studies have shown that curcumin protects dopamine neurons from damage, reduces neuroinflammation, has powerful antioxidant properties, prevents the aggregation of alpha-synuclein protein, supports mitochondrial function, and may even help clear existing protein aggregates from the brain. Animal studies of Parkinson's have found that curcumin supplementation reduces motor symptoms, protects against further dopamine neuron loss, and improves various markers of brain health. Human studies are more limited but encouraging. Small clinical trials have found that curcumin supplementation improved motor symptoms in some Parkinson's patients, reduced oxidative stress markers, and was well tolerated with minimal side effects. The challenge with curcumin is bioavailability. It's poorly absorbed when taken alone. Most of what you consume is not absorbed and is excreted. There are several ways to improve curcumin absorption. Consume it with black pepper. Piperine in black pepper increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. This is why most curcumin supplements include black pepper extract. Consume it with fat. Curcumin is fat soluble, so taking it with a meal containing fat improves absorption. Use specially formulated supplements designed for enhanced absorption. Various technologies like liposomal curcumin, curcumin with phospholipids, or nanocurcumin dramatically improve bioavailability. For therapeutic effects in Parkinson's, supplementation is probably necessary. It would be difficult to get enough from food alone, even if you eat curry daily. Look for supplements providing 500 to 1,000 milligrams of curcumin with enhanced absorption, preferably with black pepper extract or using one of the advanced delivery technologies. Take it with meals for best absorption. Curcumin is very safe with minimal side effects, even at relatively high doses. Some people experience mild digestive upset at high doses, but this is uncommon. One consideration is that curcumin can have blood-thinning properties. If you're taking blood thinners like warfarin, discuss curcumin supplementation with your doctor. You can also incorporate turmeric into your cooking. Add it to curries, soups, stews, rice dishes, smoothies, or make golden milk, a traditional Indian beverage made with turmeric, milk, black pepper, and spices. While culinary amounts of turmeric won't provide therapeutic levels of curcumin, they still contribute beneficial compounds and make food delicious. One of my patients, James, started taking a curcumin supplement after reading about the research. He chose a formulation with enhanced bioavailability, providing 500 milligrams of curcumin twice daily. James didn't notice immediate dramatic changes, but over several months, he felt that his disease progression had slowed. His motor symptoms seemed more stable rather than continually worsening. His cognitive function remained sharp. James also noticed that his chronic joint pain, which wasn't related to Parkinson's, improved significantly, a nice bonus from curcumin's anti-inflammatory properties. After 1 year on curcumin, James's neurologist commented that he was doing better than expected given his time since diagnosis. While it's impossible to attribute this solely to curcumin, James believes it's playing a protective role and plans to continue taking it indefinitely. The seventh and final food on our list is one that might sound exotic but is actually incredibly powerful and increasingly available: natto. This is a traditional Japanese food made from fermented soybeans. It has a very strong smell and slimy texture that many Westerners find off-putting, but the health benefits are remarkable. Natto is the richest dietary source of vitamin K2, particularly the MK7 form. Vitamin K2 has emerged as an important nutrient for brain health. Research has shown that vitamin K2 has anti-inflammatory properties in the brain, protects against oxidative stress, supports mitochondrial function, and may protect dopamine neurons. One particularly interesting study found that vitamin K2 activates a protein called GAS6, which has neuroprotective properties and may help prevent dopamine neuron death. Natto also contains nattokinase, an enzyme that supports cardiovascular health by breaking down blood clots. Since cardiovascular health affects brain health, this is another potential benefit. Natto provides probiotics from the fermentation process, supporting gut health. And we know the gut-brain connection is important in Parkinson's. It's also high in protein and other nutrients. The research specifically on natto and Parkinson's is limited, but the vitamin K2 content makes it theoretically very beneficial. The traditional way to eat natto is over rice for breakfast, mixed with soy sauce, mustard, and green onions. The strong flavor and texture take getting used to, but many people come to love it. If you can't tolerate natto, vitamin K2 supplements are available. Look for MK7 form, taking 100 to 200 micrograms daily. Other food sources of vitamin K2 include grass-fed butter, hard cheeses, egg yolks from pasture-raised chickens, and certain organ meats, but none come close to the amounts in natto. One important consideration is that vitamin K2 can interfere with blood-thinning medications like warfarin. If you're on these medications, you need to maintain consistent vitamin K intake and work closely with your doctor. For people not on blood thinners, vitamin K2 is very safe with no known toxicity. One of my patients, Michael, is Japanese-American and grew up eating natto. He'd stopped eating it years ago after moving away from home. When I mentioned the potential benefits of vitamin K2 for Parkinson's, Michael immediately thought of natto and started eating it again. He has one serving most days. Michael feels that natto is one of his secret weapons against Parkinson's. Whether it's the vitamin K2, the probiotics, the protein, or the combination, Michael believes it's helping him. His disease has progressed slowly, and he's maintained good function years after diagnosis. While we can't prove natto is responsible, Michael's experience is consistent with its potential benefits. Let me now share how to put this all together into a practical daily eating plan that incorporates all 7 of these powerful foods. Start your morning with 2 cups of coffee. This provides your caffeine and antioxidants. For breakfast, have 2 or 3 eggs cooked any way you like. This gives you your choline, protein, and other nutrients from eggs. Mid-morning, have a cup of green tea, continuing your intake of protective compounds. For lunch, include fatty fish like salmon, or if you don't eat fish at lunch, plan to have it for dinner. Have another cup of green tea in the afternoon for dinner. If you didn't have fish at lunch, have it now. You could also incorporate turmeric into your dinner cooking. Curry dishes are perfect for this. Evening, have a final cup of green tea if desired, or take your curcumin supplement with dinner. Make sure you're taking your vitamin D supplement daily, preferably with a meal. If you're adventurous, Try natto for breakfast Japanese style. Or take a vitamin K2 supplement. This might seem like a lot to incorporate, but remember that you're eating meals anyway. You're just being strategic about what those meals include. Coffee and green tea replace other beverages you might be drinking. Eggs become your regular breakfast. Fatty fish appears at several meals per week. Supplements fill in gaps where food intake might not be sufficient. The total additional effort is minimal, but the potential benefits are substantial. These 7 foods work synergistically, addressing Parkinson's from multiple angles simultaneously. The anti-inflammatory effects of omega-3s, curcumin, and green tea, the antioxidant properties of coffee, green tea, and curcumin, the neuroprotective effects of vitamin D and vitamin K2, the neurotransmitter support from eggs. When combined, these create powerful cumulative effects. Many patients report noticeable improvements within 2 to 4 weeks of consistently consuming these foods and supplements. Energy levels improve, mental clarity increases, mood brightens, motor symptoms may stabilize or improve slightly. The progression appears to slow. Importantly, these are all safe interventions with minimal to no side effects. Unlike medications, which often have significant side effects and risks, these foods and supplements are well tolerated by most people. The only exceptions are specific situations like blood thinners with vitamin K2 and curcumin, or caffeine sensitivity with coffee and tea. For the vast majority of people with Parkinson's, incorporating these 7 foods and supplements represents a safe, effective, evidence-based approach to supporting brain health and managing symptoms. I encourage you to discuss this plan with your neurologist. Show them this list. Most doctors will be supportive, especially when you present the research evidence. Some might even be excited to have patients taking such an active role in their health. Implement these changes gradually if needed. You don't have to start everything on day 1. Maybe week 1 you focus on adding coffee and eggs. Week 2, you add green tea and fish. Week 3, you add vitamin D and curcumin. Gradual implementation is more sustainable than trying to overhaul everything at once. Track how you feel as you add these foods. Keep a simple journal noting your energy, mood, cognitive, clarity, and motor symptoms. After a month, review your notes. Most people notice clear patterns of improvement. This positive feedback motivates continued adherence. For people with Parkinson's disease who want to harness the power of nutrition to improve their symptoms, slow disease progression, and maintain quality of life, these 7 foods represent the best evidence-based options available. Coffee for its protective caffeine and antioxidants. Green tea for its powerful EGCG and overall brain health benefits. Eggs for choline and complete nutrition. Fatty fish for anti-inflammatory omega-3s. Vitamin D to correct a common and impactful deficiency. Curcumin for its multiple neuroprotective mechanisms. And vitamin K2 from natto or supplements for its emerging brain benefits. Together, these create a comprehensive nutritional strategy that addresses Parkinson's from multiple angles. The improvements can be dramatic, and they happen more quickly than most people expect. Unlike waiting months to see if a new medication works, dietary changes often produce noticeable benefits within weeks. This rapid feedback makes it easier to stay motivated and committed. Remember that food is medicine. Every meal is an opportunity to either support or harm your brain health. By choosing foods that actively fight your disease, you're taking powerful action. You're no longer a passive victim, but an active participant in your health. If this video has given you hope and practical strategies that you're excited to implement, I'd love for you to subscribe to Beyond Parkinson and join our community of people taking active control of their health. We create weekly evidence-based content specifically for people with Parkinson's, covering nutrition, exercise, medication management, emerging treatments, and all aspects of living well with this condition. By subscribing, you'll be notified whenever we publish new content, ensuring you don't miss information that could make a real difference in your life. Simply click the subscribe button below this video and click the bell icon for notifications. I'd also love to hear about your experience as you incorporate these 7 foods into your diet. Leave a comment in a few weeks, letting us know what you've noticed, which foods were easiest to add, which had the biggest impact. Your feedback helps us create better content and helps others in the community learn from your experience. Remember that you have more power over your health than you might realize. These simple food choices made consistently can have profound effects on your symptoms and disease progression. Thank you so much for watching today. Here's to your health and vitality. Take excellent care of yourself.